Imagine a time traveler shows up right in front of you and says they will take you anywhere you want to go. Where would you go? In all the world, in all of time, where would you go? For me, I can think of lots of places. I could ramble on for hours, but I got a few key ones that I would really like. Those are kind of my top spots. The Roman Colosseum, Venice, Leonardo DaVinci, Stonehenge, Atlantis, Lau Tzu. But before I get into the good stuff, I'm going to take a couple of things off the table. First, I tend to think that most of history is full of just normal people doing normal things and otherwise just being bored of the world they're in. I think it's only the passage of time that really makes things seem important and huge. So I'm going to take the last 100 years off the table. Also, when I go way back in time like that, I am going to stick out like a sore thumb. I mean, come on. A guy like me wandering around, just behaving the way I behave now, it's going to be weird. I will get noticed, probably get thrown in the brig. Something bad will happen. There will be no modern medicine, so extra care is in order. The smallest little things will turn into big major events without medicine and doctor care and things like that. There will also be no transportation, so wherever I go is where I go. If I want to get somewhere else, I gotta walk there. So there'll be no traipsing across Europe and things like that. Wherever I am is where I am, and that's gotta be a decent spot to hang out. And last, it's gonna be a bit of a weird one, but last, I think wherever I go will have a bit of an aroma. Now, this isn't to say that people are dirty and nasty and stinky, but there's not going to be indoor plumbing. If there's no indoor plumbing, there's no daily showers. There's no soaps and shampoos and deodorants. There's bedpans out the window. There's all that crazy stuff. And there's just going to be kind of a baseline smell to wherever I go that will be totally different from now and probably very hard to handle. Now, where would I go? Near the top of that list would be the Roman Colosseum. I've been lucky enough to wander through that as it is now, kind of run down and fallen apart. And that has just a crazy cool vibe, wandering through those under those lower tunnels and stuff. That is super cool. I would like to see that when it was fresh and new and in its prime. Packed with people, packed with events. That'd be pretty awesome. Although, like I said before, hopefully I don't stand out like a sore thumb, and hopefully they don't toss me down into the bottom to be fodder for the shows. That could happen. That would be bad. Got to be aware of that. Next, I think Venice. Venice is awesome. I've also been lucky enough to wander around there. The city on the water, the canals, the gondolas. That place has just got a really, really cool vibe to it. And I would love to see that when it's in its prime, when it's hustling and bustling, when it's the power of the area. That would be really cool. I would love to hang out there for months and just absorb that. And then since I'm in Italy, I think hanging out with Leonardo DaVinci, that's gotta happen. I would love to see his perspective on the world and how he views everything. Now, I don't speak any language that he would speak, so translations would obviously be an issue. But let's just assume the time traveler can take care of that for me, and I can actually talk to Leonardo da Vinci. That would be cool. I would like to see what his perspective is and where he thinks the world will go and how he processes things. On a bit more mysterious side, Stonehenge. I have always had a fascination with Stonehenge. What the heck are they doing there? We don't really know. We assume there's some kind of religious ceremonies and great big pagan god rituals and ceremonies and things like that, but we don't really know. I'd like to be there kind of right near the end when they're finishing that up, just to know what they were planning on doing, what they expected to get out of it, what they did get out of it, how they lived around it. It seems like they built up these little pop-up towns and villages around Stonehenge. I think that would just be really cool, just to unravel that mystery and see what the heck they were doing. Not to mention how the heck they did it. I would love to see how those stones got up there. That blows my mind. Without heavy machinery, it's mind-boggling. I don't know how that would happen. And if we're going to go on the mysterious side, I'm going to Atlantis. I know, you're going to say it doesn't exist, but I think it did. I hope it did. I want it to have existed. I would like to go see Atlantis and just see what the world thought of as futuristic advanced technology back then. Now, I would like to go there a few months before it got destroyed. I don't want to go for a swim at the end of my visit, but I would love to spend a few months there, taking it in, seeing what's going on, and then skedaddle before the place goes under, because that wouldn't be any fun. I'm not a great swimmer. That wouldn't be good. So Atlantis is definitely a place I gotta go. Whether it existed or not, I gotta go. And on a real mellow side, I think I'd like to sit down with Lau Tzu as he's writing the Tao Te Ching. Now, I'm not a particularly religious person, but the whole spirituality of Taoism and all that stuff is pretty much right up my alley. And it would be interesting to sit and talk to Lau Tzu as he's coming up with that and see how he perceives the world. Again, translations are definitely an issue. I don't speak any kind of language that anybody in that part of the world would speak back then. So hopefully the time traveler could take care of that for me. But I would like to sit in the garden as the Tao Te Ching is getting done and see Taoism at its root, right as it's starting. That'd be cool. Well, cool's probably not the right word, and fun's probably not the right word. But that'd be a really interesting experience. I could ramble on for hours and hours, but I'm going to cut it off there. There's so many things I could talk about going all the way back to the Cretaceous period, where I would probably get eaten really fast. So I'll just kind of cut it off there. Those are kind of my top spots. The Roman Colosseum, Venice, Leonardo DaVinci, Stonehenge, Atlantis, Lau Tzu. Those are just all really cool experiences. They got to be near the top of my list. So I ask you, where would you go? What would you do if a time traveler showed up and said, anywhere you want, any when you want, I'll take you there, you're good to go? Where would you go? Leave a comment down below and let me know. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more great content, and I will see you in the next video.